are standing by. Guys, is it warming out there yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet, John.
Not yet. We are here, however.
There's some security guards slowly trickling in, but no people.
Some folks going around watering, but no guests yet. And Hostel, you're relatively new to the area, but I grew up around here, and I can tell you the park has changed so much just since I've come here as a kid. I mean, I remember coming and you got tickets for individual rides, much smaller. Now it's gigantic. So there's no doubt that Mr. Dorney, when he founded this, had no idea that it was going to turn out this way.
I'm sure he didn't. But today, Dorney Park is one of the greatest family amusement parks in the country. And WFMZ's Tannery takes us on a ride through the history of the park.
This is what Dorney Park looked like in 1930, more like a modern-day antique car show than an amusement park. Today, 77 years later, that same picture looks like this. There have certainly been a lot of changes, but for a lot of locals, the good old days are far from a distant memory.
I've been coming to the park since I was probably a year old.
I remember the Penny Arcade. There used to be a roller skating rink, too. We used to come to that.
The park dates back to 1860, when Solomon Dorney from Citronia built a fish hatchery and several trout ponds. People came to fish, picnic, and play outdoor games. A hotel and restaurant were added, and in 1884 came the need for mechanical rides and the name Dorney Park.
That time you could drive through the park. There was this security guard down at the bottom that would stop the traffic, let you drive through.
The rides were a lot smaller. There wasn't quite as much, high rides.
Rides have come and gone at Dorney Park, but some of the originals are still running strong. The oldest ride, the Whip, has been entertaining guests for more than 80 years. It's just a few years older than Dorney's first coaster, Thunder Hawk, which is still a favorite today. But like the roller coaster, Dorney's history has had both ups and downs. Tragedy hit the park in the off-season of 1983 when the merry-go-round and several other buildings burned in a fire. A few years later, another fire leveled Castle Gardens, a place that many in the Lehigh Valley knew and loved for more than 60 years.
We used to have dances.
And the fires left many employees wondering if Dorney would have a future.
A big section of the park went down. They're going to keep open. It's like, oh, do I have a job next week? Type thing.
But the fires weren't enough to turn the park upside down. And those who were there since the beginning say it's been one great ride. Especially for people like Edwin and Nancy, who turned their childhood memories into careers. They've both been working at the park for decades and don't plan to take off anytime soon.
Here this long, might as well stick it out the rest of the time.
So you can't get enough of this place,
No.
Eve Tannery, 69 News.